Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Janavara Girivardhari Janavara Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Prajajanaranjana Yashoda Nandana Prajajanaranjana Yamunati Ravanachari Yamunati Ravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Hey, Hare Krishna, everyone, and welcome. Thank you very much for being here for the Community Saturday morning program. And we're going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam today. And let's see what we got. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And let's hope that this works. It's working there. And can you see it? Okay, you got it on there. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to be reading from the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 83. And this is conversations with the queens, Krishna's queens, and Draupadi. And we're reading text number 10 today. You can please repeat the invocation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Jambavati Uvacha Pragya Deha Krit. I'm sorry. Pragyaya Deha Kridamum Nijanata Daivam. Sita Patim Trinavahanya Munabhyayudyat. Gyatva Parikshita Upahararahanam Pada Pragriha Maninaham Amusya Dasi. Okay, so word for word translation. Shri Jambavati Uvacha. Shri Jambavati said, Pragyaya, unaware, Deha, of my body, Krit, the maker, my father, Amum, of him, Nija, his own, Nata, as the master, Daivam, and worshipable deity, Sita, of the goddess Sita, Patim, the husband, Tree, three, Nava, times nine, Ahani, for days, Amuna, with him, Abhyayudyat, he fought, Gyatva, recognizing, Parikshitaha, awakening to proper understanding, Upaharat, he presented, Arhanam, as a respectful offering, Mam, me, Padao, his feet, Pragriya, taking hold of, Manina, with jewel, Aham, I, Amusha, his, Dasi, maid servant. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Jambavati said, unaware that Lord Krishna was none other than his own master and worshipable deity, the husband of the goddess Sita, which is who? Lord Ram. My father fought with him for 27 days. When my father finally came to his senses and recognized the Lord, he took hold of his feet and presented him with both me and the Shamantaka jewel as tokens of his reverence. I am simply the Lord's maid servant. Purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace. Jambavan had been Lord Ramchandra's servant many thousands of years before. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti mentions that while hearing Jambavati's story, the women present recognized her as the girl whom Jambavan had once offered to Lord Ram to be his wife. Since Lord Ram had taken a vow to have only one wife, which is, what's that vow in Sanskrit? What did you say? I don't know what you pointed to. Ekpati Vrat, yes. Since Lord Ram had taken a vow to have only one wife, he could not accept her then, but did so when he returned in the Dwarpa Yuga as Krishna. The other queens wanted to honor Jambavati for this, but she replied humbly, I am just the Lord's maid servant. How Jambavati and Satyabhama became Lord Krishna's wives is told in chapter 56 of the 10th canto. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militangena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Gena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So when giving class in person, I like to have this code of ethics that everybody turns their phone on and make sure that all the volumes are up, because if your phone goes off during class, you get to sponsor a set of Srimad Bhagavatams. Sounds like a good program. So please, everyone can turn their phones on and make them very loud. Okay, so continuing, we have what's mentioned here first is the humility of Jambavati, who is obviously not an ordinary person. Of course, no ordinary person can get to be the, queen of Krishna. Is everything okay? All right. So no ordinary person can get to be the queen of Krishna, obviously. But even in amidst that, there is, she is super unique in so many different ways. So we'll discuss a little bit about this. And obviously, she has been blessed immensely because she is, oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Krishna. Let's try again. Hold on. Let's go. Okay, now, all right. Because I think Ananda Biharipu is driving, so people are waiting in the waiting room, and so I tried to let someone in, but he did at the same time, so messed up. Okay, so anyway, she's an empowered personality, and she's been blessed with a very long life. So as we heard in the purport, oh, we got a winner. Whose phone was that? It's too late, Prabhu. Now you got to sponsor a set of Bhagavatams.
Jaya just sent a message from India.
Okay, he's not playing the game. All right, so she's been blessed with a very long life by the mercy of her father. So the Bhagavatam offers many windows as we read the Bhagavatam, especially with Srila Prabhupada's purports, but also in the text of the Bhagavatam. There's little insights or portals by which something is mentioned inadvertently, you could say, but it opens up an entire pastime, or even sometimes alludes to entire cantos, just by the mention of a name or just by the mention of an aspect of a pastime. So we see here in this pastime, a certain personality is mentioned. Who is that personality? You already saw some pictures. Jambavan, who is actually here present with us. We'll discuss him a little bit later. So this personality is mentioned in the purport. And it's also exciting when you have to prepare for a class. I always find that preparing for a class is like going on a journey where you're actually chasing after Krishna in some wild way. And how wonderful is Krishna that he leads you this way, then leads you this way, and you're looking here, you're looking there, then this point comes up, and the next thing you know, if you're really actually preparing or studying, you just find yourself completely absorbed in the Bhagavatam, and you're like, wow, will I ever get out of here? Or what am I going to present? There's so much to share and so much to present. So this was an exciting journey, and I definitely did not plan to go where I've gone. And sometimes devotees have that experience that when you sit down on the Vyasasana and you start speaking, everything you prepared goes that way, and Krishna takes you this way. So we'll see where we wind up, but we've only got a short time. So we're going to discuss a little bit of the nectar that I found on this journey, this chase with Krishna. So the Jambavan. So first point is that, of course, according to the Ramayan, Jambavan emerged from the mouth of, anyone knows? Who knows much about Jambavan apart from Jambavan? Hopefully you know a lot about your namesake. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so according to the Ramayan, Jambavan emerged from the mouth of Brahma. Emerged from the mouth of Brahma, specifically when he yawned, which I thought was interesting. It doesn't go into elaboration, but of course we know that bears have a tendency to hibernate, which means they sleep for what, 3 to 6 months a year, something like that. But anyway, when Lord Brahma yawned, Jambavan appeared, and he created him in order to give him immense strength so that he could assist Lord Ram in his battle against Ravana. So he was also known as the King of Bears, Riksha Raj. So anyone knows in Hindi, Riksha means bear. So he was the king of the bears. But in the Valmiki Ramayan, he is actually portrayed as as a monkey, as one of the Varnas. So a slight distinction or difference of opinions, which happens all the time, as we'll see a few times in this. So anyway, he's portrayed like that. Even Srila Prabhupada in different places refers to him as Riksha Raj, the king of the bears, and later he refers to him as the king of the monkeys. So in different places, Prabhupada even refers to him differently. So whether that's keeping continuity with Valmiki or whether it's some other adjustment, but like that. Anyway, the thing is, it's understood that he is Riksharaj, which means he is the king of the bears. He was also present at another important time, apart from being present when Lord Ram was there and helping Lord Ram, which we'll discuss a little bit more, and also being present, as we heard in the purport, at the time of the Shamantaka jewel pastime and fighting with Krishna. He was present another time. Anyone knows the other time he was present? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, no. Okay. Would you like to know?
Yeah.
Okay. So he was also present at the churning of the ocean of milk. Yeah. Didn't know that, did you? I bet you didn't know a lot of things because I didn't know any of these things. So, and he circled Lord Vamanadev 7 times in a brief time when the Lord was acquiring the 3 worlds from Bali Maharaj. And we have this here, even in our 8th canto of the Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada mentions, with the second step, the Supreme Personality of God had reached the topmost plane of the universe, Brahma Loka, which he diminished in beauty by the effulgence of his toenails. Thus, Lord Brahma, accompanied by great sages like Marichi and the predominating deities of all the higher planets, offered humble prayers and worship to the Lord. They washed the Lord's feet and worshipped him with all paraphernalia. Riksharaj, Jambavan, played his bugle. So he also plays the bugle like that. Oh, you didn't know that either. To vibrate the glories of the Lord. When Bali Maharaj was deprived of all his possessions, the demons were very angry. Although Bali Maharaj warned them not to do so, they took up weapons against Lord Vishnu. So it seems that Jambavan has been around for a very long time and involved in different pastimes. And one place I found that actually, because in the Ramayan, which we'll come to in one moment. Yeah, I'll leave that. I'll come to that in a second. So also in the Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada mentions Riksharaj Jambavan again. And he says that when Riksharaj was in front of Krishna fighting and suddenly realized that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna addressed him thus: "My dear Riksharaj, why is your face so dry? Please do not feel threatened by me. There is no need for your heart to tremble like this. Please calm yourself down. I have no anger toward you. You may, however, become as angry as you like with me to expand your service in fighting with me and to increase my sporting attitude. Isn't that powerful? So Krishna is saying, I don't want you to be upset. I don't want you to be disturbed in any way by me. Don't feel threatened. But please go ahead and feel free to get as angry as you like with me so that we can increase this rasa. In this dreadful situation, in ecstatic love, so this is also a pastime of ecstatic love, which we'll discuss a little bit later. Krishna himself is the object of dread. So he's the original Judge Dredd. So he is the object of dread. But at the same time, that pastime is complete loving exchanges and ecstasy. So in the Ramayana, there's this exalted personality whom everyone is usually pretty familiar with, Hanuman. Hanumanji ki. So this pastime with Lord Hanuman, or Hanuman, in relation to Jambavan, is anyone familiar with what happened? What is the relationship between Jambavan and Hanuman? They're both serving under?
Sugriva?
They're both serving under Sugriva. Wait a minute, Mataji, you said something? Hanumanji is the father of Jambavan. Not that I'm aware of, but that's an interesting thing. I didn't see that. Maybe true, might be in some Purana somewhere, but I didn't see that. Jambavan?
Jambavan is the prime minister of Sugriva, and Hanuman is the general.
Very nice. Actually, you nailed it down. Yes, that is like that. Jambavan is considered very, very wise, and he's an advisor. In fact, it was he who advised Sugriva to send Hanuman to check out Ram and Lakshman to see who they were. So he advised him initially. But the most famous aspect or understanding of the pastime between Hanuman and Jambavan is that, as we know, Hanuman, who's this great personality, but he had been cursed by a rishi after trying to do what? What did he try to do? He tried to swallow the sun, thinking that the sun was a fruit, a mango or something like. So he tried to swallow the sun. Indra got involved. Indra, he got the name Hanuman, I think, because Indra whacked him with a thunderbolt on his jaw, right? And that shifted his chin, which I think the word Hanuman actually means like one whose jaw has been shifted. So, but he was so powerful because he is the son of Vayu. So he's very powerful. Just like who is another personality who is the son of Vayu? And we've discussed him quite a bit from the Mahabharata. And they both carry maces, so they have a lot in common. Actually, I think Bhima met Hanuman, right? In the Mahabharata, there was an interesting pastime there. So Hanuman, he's basically, although he's present in the Ramayana, but up until the point of where they get to the crossing to Lanka, where they're at the, bottom of India trying to cross over, and they understand that Sita is on Lanka, Hanuman has played kind of a little bit of a, not exactly insignificant role, but not a super empowered role. Because actually he had been cursed by this sage. I can't remember his name. Anyone remembers the sage's name? Okay. So he was cursed by this sage that basically all his powers would be diminished. But yes, all his powers would be diminished. And then everyone began to petition, please don't do that. Don't do that for Hanuman. He said, okay, so he will just forget his powers until someone reminds him. Someone reminds him. And so that is the pastime, because who reminded Hanuman of his great power and strength? Jambavan. So actually it's described that in this way, Jambavan was also a personality who was able to see potential in another person and understand that potential and encourage that potential. I love it because Vaisheshika Prabhu, he always uses this catchphrase. He says we should encourage the heck out of people. Yeah. He says, because the heck gets in people. So you got to encourage the heck out, you know. So he says, encourage the heck out of people. And when you encourage the heck out of people, when you see the good in others and encourage that, this is what happens. They become empowered to actually do so many things. And in that way, they can jump across the ocean and save Sita. Actually, it's described, and this is what I was going to say earlier, that Jambavan said, I could jump across myself to Lanka, but I can't do that because I was injured when I was circumambulating the foot of Vishnu playing my bugle. He hit my leg, so I'm not able to actually jump across the ocean. So that's there also. So this empowerment reminded me of a story which some of you may be familiar with. Anyone knows the story of the eagle or the chicken? Would you like to hear it? It's not from a Purana, but it's related. So there's this story of one day there was an earthquake, an eagle egg, which was up on a high cliff, fell out of the nest and rolled down into the farmer's yard. Don't ask me how it did that without breaking, but it did. It's amazing. It's a miracle. And all the chickens, one of the chickens especially, saw this egg and thought, wow, look at this egg. And she wanted the egg, so she rolled it into her nest and she sat on it until it hatched. And when it hatched, the eagle came out. The chicken realized this chicken looks a little bit different, but anyway. So the eagle wandered around and learned how to act just like a chicken because the eagle was hanging out with chickens. By dint of our association, Prabhupada says, if you hang out with drunkards, you become a, and if you hang out with chickens, you become a chicken. So the eagle was like, I'm a chicken, and is scratching the earth and chucking the chicken. But the eagle would from time to time, sorry, that is not from Krishna book, that's from another slide. The eagle would look up in the sky and see these other eagles and would think, I wish I could fly like that eagle, but I am just a chicken. After some time, the eagle realized that I think there's something more that I have to offer. I'm not just a chicken. And then the eagle actually spread its wings and began to fly. And it took off into the sky and it began to act like an eagle. So the point being, kind of a simple or silly thing that I've explained very quickly. But the point is that if you hang out with chickens, you're going to act like a chicken. But we should understand that there is more to offer for each and every one of us. All of us have been gifted by Krishna with divine attributes that we can use in his service. Maybe we have also, like Jambavan, forgotten. Huh? Sorry, like Hanuman. Yes, like Hanuman forgot. So we need someone like Jambavan to remind us. So we think that Jambavan should have the service of reminding everyone of their strengths and encouraging the heck out of them, right, Jambavan? And we can also encourage the heck out of Jambavan. So the next scenario was that Jambavan also fought with Krishna. Now, Draupadi says that he fought with Krishna for 3 times 9. Sorry, 3 times 9. 3 times 9. Jambavati, what did I say? Jambavan. Oh, Draupadi said, Jambavati said that, 3 times 9, 27 days. But actually, in almost every other place in the Bhagavatam and Krishna book, it says 28 days. Is this important? Yeah. Why is it important, Sundarnath? You said yes. Was that a joke? Or? For research work. Yes, if you're a researcher, this is extremely important. But actually, it's described that some details like this are actually, in one sense, a little bit irrelevant. They could be, yeah. So that's also a possibility. But either way, it doesn't say that in either place, and Prabhupada doesn't say, like you have Varaha Dev who is white, Varaha Dev who is red, and they're happening in different kalpas or different yugas. So, but the point being that it's 27 or 28 days. Anyway, to fight with Krishna for 27 or 28 days means that you must be a pretty empowered person. And we just read that quote where it's understood that at that point, it was actually a rasa or a loving exchange between the two of them. So at the end of that, it led to, as we heard in the purport, it led to Jambavan recognizing Krishna as his Lord and Master. And he bowed down and he took the Lord's feet and he put them on his head. And he offered the Shamantaka jewel. Now, of course, there's a whole pastime. Yes, Prabhu. Maybe we wait till the end.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'll tell you
Yeah, okay. So he offered not only the Shamantaka jewel to Krishna, and we're not going to get into the whole pastime because we're a bit short on time, but he also offered his daughter Jambavati. Now, in this purport, this is the only place that I also saw that where it's mentioned by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that Jambavati had been promised previously to Lord Ram. Was anyone else familiar with that? So, which means that she, not only Jambavan, but Jambavati was also present at that time, and she also was blessed to have this long life. So she's a very special and empowered personality. And now this backstory, as many of the pastimes have backstories, this backstory is that she had actually been promised to Lord Ram, and Lord Ram said, I can't accept you in this incarnation because I have accepted only one wife, Ekpatni Brat. But in my next incarnation, I will be with you. Lord Ram also made another program because all of the Varna army, all the monkey army, they weren't able to go back to Ayodhya and spend time with him. So he said, in my next incarnation, I'll spend time with you. And as Krishna, he came, and in Vrindavan, what does Krishna do? He plays with the monkeys. He's always spending time, and he's feeding butter to the monkeys, so many things. So like this. So this is the beautiful pastime of the Shamantaka jewel and the acceptance of Jambavati, which she is telling to Draupadi in the assembly of wonderful queens and at the gathering in Kurukshetra. So I was fortunate to also meet Jambavan, and you may not believe this, but I did meet Jambavan. So the empowerment is still there in this personality. So everyone has the opportunity to meet Jambavan Das here present with us. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay. Hare Krishna. Sorry, I rushed that towards the end. You had something to add, subtract, or comment on? Or...
Anyway, verses say, and an interesting concept, although you touched on it, is that one of the things Srila Prabhupada tells us about this pastime is that, and it's mentioned, and you mentioned it, Jambavan fought with Krishna, and he didn't recognize that it was Krishna. But Krishna was pleased by that combat. So it was service to Krishna. And by service to Krishna, when Krishna was pleased, he realized, this is Krishna. So Krishna revealed himself because he was pleased with Jambavan's service of fighting with him. And then he started looking at him differently, and he gave him the jewel and his daughter. So devotional service to Krishna helps us to see Krishna. So, you know, you've touched on it, the passage says it, but just to emphasize that that's an interesting concept, that by serving Krishna, not that we can see Krishna, but Krishna can reveal himself to us when he's pleased. Well, goes to Prabhupada. Sorry to talk so long.
So I guess the thing is that question is, Jambavan didn't know he was serving Krishna also. He just thought he was beating up an intruder.
But Krishna liked it.
Yeah, of course, that's the thing. So it's interesting, a kind of different dynamic is that some people can be serving Krishna and not be aware of it. But if Krishna is pleased, so they're not doing devotional service because they're not necessarily, I mean, it'd be hard to say he was doing.
How wonderful is
It's
Krishna
Krishna.
that he makes that arrangement.
That's right.
Perceived.
Agyata Sukriti. Yes, Vasudev Prabhu. And if you want people to hear, or I can repeat, whichever. Okay.
So we know Jambavan and Jambavati, they're transcendental personalities.
Yeah.
Yet you would expect if the father is a bear or a monkey, then the daughter
Uh-huh.
would be somewhat alike, but she doesn't appear to be anything like. Of course, they're transcendental and so on, but maybe in your studies that you find anything.
Yeah, good point. And I didn't, okay, so just to repeat what Vasudev Prabhu said, he said that Jambavan and Jambavati, father, daughter, Jambavan is a bear or monkey, whatever, but either way, he's not necessarily quote unquote human. And Jambavati, you would think, would take on the attributes of the father in some way or another, but often she's not portrayed to actually have those attributes. And in my study on this, did I find anything around that? The simple answer is no. But, and any picture that I looked up, there were some pictures that looked like she had not exactly characteristics, but something a little bit there. But most pictures and of course the pictures are taken, and yeah, I mean, I have an opinion, but I'm not going to share it. I think she probably did have those attributes because it doesn't say anywhere that she didn't. And it would almost be weird that she didn't, as you're pointing out. But it also doesn't say that she did. But so like that. But the thing is that you probably don't want to put a picture of Krishna marrying a bear-like looking person. But it doesn't mean that she also couldn't be beautiful and that Krishna wouldn't accept her. I don't know. I'm not racist against bears, just in case someone thinks I am. I don't know. But anyway, so it is an interesting dynamic. But yeah, so that's there. But I didn't find anything that said specifically. But I do seem to remember. But anyway, I didn't find anything. I'll leave it at that. Jambavan Das Prabhu.
The rishi that cursed Hanuman is Matanga.
Matanga, that's it.
Matanga.
Rishi Matanga.
And then also when Krishna, after thanking Jambavan and like thanking him for the service, he also increases his power and names him now your Jambavan, the one with the strength of 10,000 lions, because he defeated the lion that had the jewel, Shamataka jewel. So just like Bhima with playing with his siblings and getting poisoned, but then got power. Similar thing happens. Like after he served, his powers increased.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Madan Gopal Prabhu had his hand raised, but looks like he then went out of the room or something. I don't know. Madan Gopal Prabhu, you would like to share something?
Yes, Haribol. Can you hear me?
I can indeed, yes.
Okay, I think I have two things going on. Okay, so to answer the question about Jambavan, I can refer you to. I need to sign out of this one. Hold on. I can refer you to a letter written by Srila Prabhupada on this matter.
Beautiful.
If I can read that real quick. This is a letter to Jadurani in 1970. He says that Jambavan, the name does not suggest a bear because his daughter was one of the queens of Dwarka married by Krishna. Just like sometimes our name is Krishna does not mean that I am the real Krishna, but I'm Krishna dasa, servant of Krishna. From the description of Srimad Bhagavatam, we understand that this Jambavan was very sturdy and a strong fighter. Sometimes we get such a picture of bodily construction of a black man in your country. So in this way, you can guess what should be the features of his body. But certainly, he was not a bear. So this is from Prabhupada. So I guess we could take it at face value. Hare Krishna.
Okay, just so there, I showed several quotes where Prabhupada does refer to him as Riksha Raj, which is king of the bears.
Right. You can be the king of the bears without being a bear, by the way. So something to think
Okay.
about.
Interesting. Okay, thank you for that, Prabhu. Anything else, anyone?
Fun fact,
Yes,
my second name is Jabulani, right?
mean your legal second name.
Yeah, my first name is Mobi, and my second name is Jabulani. Jabulani is a Zulu word that means be happy or make people happy.
Okay,
And a lady by the name of Manasigan from New Zealand named me Jambavani back in Victoria because she saw that I might be interested in Ramayana or Mahabharata. Fast forward, when I met my guru, he didn't know I was called Jambavani. Like, he only knew my name, Jabrani Temba. My initiation name was Riksharaj. When I asked him, my initiation name was Riksharaj. But then he saw like people were calling me Jambavani. I was like, what's this? I was like, I have a name for you. Yes. So on the day of the initiation, he said, we're gonna change this name because I am the guru and I have a name and now you're Jambavan Das officially. So it was very interesting to like from Richard to Jambavan.
okay, interesting.
Did you find anything on the meaning of the name Jambavan? Because Jamba, according to the Sanskrit dictionary, means mud or clay.
Yes. And Van means forest.
Van means one who has it.
Oh, one who possesses. Oh, yes.
People can't hear.
So yeah, there were two points made. One was from Jambavan, who told a story of how his guru changed his name to Jambavan. Previously, he had a different name. I'm not going to repeat all of that. But also, did I find anything about the meaning of the word Jambavan? No, but maybe Madan Gopal Prabhu has some information there. Madan Gopal Prabhu?
The meaning of the word Jambavan? Yeah, it's not very clear. Like that possesses mud. So that's not very clear. I never got anything beyond that in terms of the literal meaning. Now, so sometimes one may have something Van, like Pushpavan means one who owns flowers. It could be just a very romantic name, you know. So it doesn't always mean it has to describe him. But it's just an interesting discussion, isn't it? About this, because he has so many names, Riksha Raj, and Prabhupada does talk about him being Riksha Raj.
He's also called Jambanath.
Right.
Okay, Karuna Nimai Prabhu, you have some input?
Yes, so Jambavan can also come from the word Jambudvi. And Jambavan was created by Lord Brahma,
Yeah,
especially to assist
Lord Ram.
Lord Ram. It's also that there are also some sayings that it's also related to the word, the Jambu tree.
Jambu tree, yeah.
So someone who
Jambu
has the
tree.
strength of that tree.
Okay.
Jambavan.
One who possesses the strength of the Jambu tree.
And then all of these semi-bear-like or bear-like, as we have been discussing that. But it's important to know that he's a celestial being, not an ordinary bear.
Yes.
So that's why
It's not like Smokey or,
daughter would be like a bear or something different. So
yeah. Okay, interesting, beautiful. So, yes, and I was going to repeat. So basically, I was trying to repeat as we go. So the input from Karuna Nimai was Jamba can also come from Jambu, like Jambu Dweep, and it can come from Jambu Van, or Jambu, the tree, the fruit tree, and it can be one who possesses the strength of that tree. And we're now going to have darshan. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Shri Radha Murida Gaura Chandana Sima Bhagavan ki Srila Prabhupada ki
The lotus leaf of us is on the way, but it is contained. About by His grace and transformation. Attachment to the lotus feet is the perfection of the all desire. He opens my heart and eyes and fills my heart with destiny. He is my Lord forever. From him ecstatic and reign of enemies, my ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master, ocean mercy, friend of the poor, Lord master of devotees. O master, mercy upon us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. We take shelter at your lotus feet. Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai
Looks like Ananda Vihari Prabhu's not here
I
anymore.
was gonna say the same thing. They think we've lost him when we're.
Yeah.
I see Adi Purusha Prabhu. Hey, would you like to say something for our afterglow? Hare Krishna, everyone. I think we've lost our host. Does anyone have anything they would like to speak on for the afterglow? Yema Prabhu, please speak.
Haribo, Prabhu, how are you doing?
I am taking it day by day, my friend.
That doesn't sound good. Yeah, that's all we can do, you know. And that also lessens the task of how are we going to think about Krishna all day, all the time? Well, if all the time is just brought down to today, then and then we begin the day, we frame our day, we wake up with Bhagavatam Class and Adi pollution. As soon as we open our eyes, we try to immerse ourselves in the Leela, because this world and its concerns will sweep us away. So that's the importance of Leela. But I'd just like to say that this tussling, this sporting mood, as Prabhupada said, for Krishna, it's a big thing. If we look at a majority of males, even females, my God, these days, love to fight, wrestle, mixed martial arts. It's very huge in the constitution of a human to be tested and challenged. And that even though when they fight and blood is drawn within the ring, when that bell rings, that final bell rings, there is never a nearer brother at that moment than your opponent who tested you. And there's a great joy in it for those who have never done it. It's hard to describe the taste, but there's a great joy in combative and tussling, and especially within, of course, bounds of no anger, but just a test of mano a mano, man to man, or woman to woman, a test of strength and bringing one down to the marrow. So Krishna also enjoys, amazingly enough, that ras. He actually enjoys being tested, and he enjoys the trickstery that he employs. He's a cheater. He's already admitted to that. But I think that the fact that Krishna also tussles with us on a daily basis, we wrestle in our remembrance of him. We sometimes turn our back, and then he has to kind of tackle us, trip us up a little bit, so that we turn around and say, "Oh, you're right, Krishna. I do need you." So we're always like dealing with this. Krishna's right next to us on that tree branch, mano a mano, soul to soul, super soul. So that's what's great about these leelas. If we encompass them more than just a time and circumstance, but if we encompass these leelas and let the power create itself, a constant remembrance of Krishna in our everyday activities, even our so-called mundane activities, we always remember Krishna's at play here in his fields, and we are running right alongside him. Hare Krishna.
Well, thank you, Bhima Prabhu. Does anybody else have any commentary that they would like to add, or glorifications?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Adi Purusha Prabhu.
How are you today?
I'm doing my best.
Okay. Nice to see you. So I always bring it down to food. We know what sweet rice is, and a laddu and gulab jamun, but also there's savories. There's a pakora, there's a dal and rice. So the Uncle Bhima was talking about how the taste for bitter, pungent, and testing. Like some of Krishna's wives are feisty and sparkly. And some of them, like Mother Rukmini, they're very, very sweet and submissive. So they both are there, and the variety makes life interesting. Variety is the spice of life, they say. So we do see how Krishna relishes the combative situation, like with Jambavan, and he also relishes the sweet mellows. So that's not that we want to, just exclusively taste one kind of food. Anyway, just a comment. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna.
Variety is the spice of life. Let's have a commentary that they'd like to add, or
I'd like
glorification.
to just, I think it was like 1992. I was at Gita Nagri Farm for a camp for kids, and they did the play of the Shamataka Jewel, and I mean, they had so much fun doing it, like being Jambavan and the wrestling, and the whole drama. And I also was thinking, I love that point, how it's like it was so pleasing to Krishna to wrestle with him, and my youngest son, when he was about 2, he needed a lot of physical touch. So on days where my other 2 would go to some kind of schooling activity, we would call it mommy day, but we would always wrestle. We would either be cowherd boys or bears, or we would be monkeys. And it was just it was so nice, And I like that point. Sometimes we think these pastimes, like, why is this going on? But it's all for Krishna's pleasure. So very sweet. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Adi, sing that song the kids used to sing in Vrindavan, in New Vrindavan, going into the fields. We are satisfied. All the
We are
kids.
satisfied living in the forest of Vrindavan. Could you hear that?
Yeah, they would come by each day.
We are
Yeah.
satisfied living in the forest of Vrindavan. They would chant that. They're satisfied in devotional service. Everything we need is there. Everything. All kinds of rasa, all kinds of taste, all kinds of experiences, varieties of relationships, tears and anger and laughter and, teasing each other. And so and very satisfying. But it's not boring. If we just had one kind of taste, it would be boring. But going from one taste to another enhances the variety, enhances the enjoyment.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for your commentary, and Adi for your singing. I appreciate it every time I hear it. If no one else has any further comments or anything, we can the yagya with Hare Krishna in the spirit of Ananda Bihari. Let's have someone speak Hare Krishna before we
You.
me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Always and forever. I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Jai Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.